Hi everybody, welcome back to Cat's Book Nook. Today is Sunday, the 16th. So this is going to be my weekly wrap-up video for this week. This week I got through 9 books, returned 2, picked up several new books, and I'm currently reading 3. Sorry, I went from 2 to 3 because I remember that we're still actually reading Beartown, although we haven't read it in a week, so we'll see how far we get before Thursday, because book club is Thursday. So, books I read this week. Audiobooks. We got Sideways by Rex Pickett. Misogynistic. I really hope, I want to say this book was done in late 1990s, early 2000s. So, this book represented that culture at that time. It wasn't all that great. I think I gave it a 2 stars. I rarely rate books 2 stars. That one I totally did. Time Machine by H.G. Wells. This is told in a monologue type storyline where the narrator is actually being told the story by the time traveler who they never say what his name actually is. But it's a really good classic book. I can see why it's a classic. Then we had Ali Smith, Public Library and Other Stories. This is basically stories about how libraries are important and stories from people who use libraries, and it actually starts off with a story of her and her publisher, while they're trying to do this book, walk into a library that's got library marked off, and they think it's an actual library, but it's not. So that was kind of important. And then I don't have it, but Only Human came in yesterday. It's already done. I finished it I spent all day on that audiobook. It was awesome. I'm yelling at it, screaming, laughing. I'm just, entire range of emotions went with that story. It was great. I highly recommend the audiobook versions for the Themis Files because that's how they're supposed to be read, because they are all audio files in paper format. It's great. I loved it. It was, yeah. And then the last audiobook I read was Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Ray and I buddy read this. It was okay. We both actually passed out for the last 20 minutes. And after having that book for 16 days and reading it for 16 days, I said, no, we're done. We're good. So I don't know if we're going to buddy read the rest of them or not. That will probably be an October thing. I'm waiting for her to shake her head because she's literally sitting across from me while I'm doing this. So she's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, then I got through 4 physical books. I think I took pictures of most of these. Yes. So Carrie Vaughn's Kitty and the Dead Man's Hand, which helps launch the series into another path, which I'm really looking forward to reading. There's not much I can say about this book without spoiling it, so moving on. And then we have Out of the Blue by Sophie Cameron. Okay, so Out of the Blue was a angel-based story where I don't really know how to explain it. It's just basically beings fall from the sky and this girl's family chases them and got the opportunity to actually talk to one, and it follows why they're in one place, Jaya meeting people. Jaya is the main character, her friendship, her relationship with her father and her sister, and then it just kind of steamrolls into a really good story. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I also got to read, come on phone, Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I want to say Leno, just because I'm thinking Jay Leno, but yeah. Summer of Salt was actually better than Out of the Blue. I thought, it's got magical realism, it's got a mystery to it, it's got twin sisters, it's just, yeah. I want to say it's practical magic for young adults, new adults, because the twins are 19 and 18 and they're leaving for college, and kind of small town, small island sort of story that every summer, I'm going to say practical magic and the Wicked Deep. So there's this thing that happens and has been happening for the last 300 years, but for the last 18 of those, they've been doing a festival around this event, and tourists show up and they spend a couple of months, and this town gets an influx of money, an influx of people, and Summer of Salt follows what happens on year 18 of this event happening in the kids' lives. So I thought it was pretty good. What other book did I get through this week? Oh, duh. Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. So I read this already this year in April. I didn't particularly care for it in April. I do enjoy it a little bit more this time around because I have all 4 books. So I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit better. And I knew what the story was. So I went in knowing what I was getting myself into, and I finished this morning. So that's all the stuff that I finished. Currently reading Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. Read the first page, so currently reading. Then we've got Beartown by Fredrick Backman that we're still reading as Buddy reads until Thursday. We'll see if we actually finish it. We've still got 300 and some odd pages to go. We might not. Then we've got, if I get to the right part, Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. I started this on Wednesday. I have not finished it, obviously, because I'm talking about it in my currently read sections. This book follows houses. It's kind of got that a darker shade of magic feel to it. So I'm hoping this is better than A Darker Shade of Magic. So far, so good. It's only a 9-hour audiobook, so it shouldn't take much longer than what it already has. And it is a standalone novel, so it's not spread over 3 very large books. It's spread over one sort of, I want to say a 400-page book, if that. So far, so good. New books this week. We got Book 6 of the Kitty Neuvel series. This is Kitty Raises Hell. And then Book 8, Kitty Goes to War. Book 7 is on its way. So hopefully that'll be here this week so I can maybe... Well, I'll definitely finish 7 and 8 in October because... Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Alright, other new books. We got Midworld Wake. A booktuber that I follow mentioned this the other day. I don't remember what they said it was about. I think this is a story of college-age new adults who get into a car accident and they're all in a coma and they all have to figure out which one's gonna die. I think that's what they said this one was about. Pretty brutal, and it's a great read for October, which is when I'm gonna end up reading it. Also for October, we've got Midwinterblood by Marcus Sedgwick. Can't talk today, guys. I think this is 7 stories that kind of has a Cloud Atlas vibe where it wraps around back into itself. I actually had this on Overdrive as an audiobook, and I'm thinking this might actually be a better story in physical format. So that's why I got it. We also got volumes 1, 2, and 4 of Goldie Vance. This is a story set in the 1960s. Outside of the female-female romance, I don't know what happens in these. I just needed new graphic novels to read because I'm currently out and waiting on Strangers in Paradise to finish. So I can go finish picking up the rest of those singles and hopefully get the trade paperbacks for Christmas. Ray just did the, we'll see. Look. And then I also picked up Because You Love to Hate Me again. This is 13 Tales of Villainy, edited by Anne-Marie, who is a booktuber. I will link her channel in the description box below so you guys can go check her out. There are 13 other booktubers that are mentioned in the back of this that have fantastic booktube channels that I highly recommend. I will not list all of those in the description box below, but definitely pick the book up. You've got Victoria Schwab in here. You've got Adam Silvera, Nicola Yoon, Sarah Dennard. So V.E. Schwab, who wrote Darkest Shade of Magic. You've got Adam Silvera, who wrote History Is All You Left Me, More Than Happy, and I'm forgetting his other books, but he's actually got a new book coming out with Becky Albertalli called What If It's Us? What If It Was Us? Anyway, he's a really good author. Nicola Yoon did Everything, and The Sun Is Also a Star. Susan Dennard is Truthwitch, the author of Truthwitch. Samantha Shannon, I don't remember what she wrote, but you've also got Marissa Meyer in here, who's currently writing Renegades, and she's the author of the Lunar Chronicles, so check this book out. It's all short stories. Other new books this week. So audiobooks, we got The Other Typist by Suzanne Rindell. This is set in the 1920s with a police dispatch center. This is a female-female romance, I think. It's supposed to be along the lines of Carol, so we'll see if I actually enjoy this one. If I don't like the audiobook, obviously I can pick the physical book up, so that'll be kind of easy. And then I also picked the audiobook version up of At the Water's Edge by Sara Gruen. She wrote Water for Elephants. I started this in a try a chapter thing that I was going to post on my post here, but I didn't get very far into it. And yeah, long story. So, the last new book that I picked up was Best Exotic Marigold Hotel by Deborah Mogic. I may have actually mentioned this one last week, but pick this one up. This is actually a movie, so read the book, watch the movie, we'll see how it goes. Returned books. Everything by Nicola Yoon. Just so I could pick up Only Human. I will go back to this at some point. And then, the last returned book this week was Mislaid by Neil Zink. I tried it. I read a page. I don't even think I got a page past where I was. DNF'd it. So, there's my DNF book for this week. I DNF'd Odd and True, but I kept it, so I will go back to it in October. So with that, that's my weekly wrap-up video. Sorry it's long. I will talk to you guys later. The announcement for, and I mentioned last week. So this is the last week this month that I will be reading. The entire week of September 23rd to September 30th, I will not be reading because of a project that I am working on for myself. It's the Artist Way project. It's 12 weeks. Week 4, you don't read anything except, well, you actually don't read anything. I'm kind of bypassing that a little bit because I have homework due that week, but it's supposed to help with the creative process. So far, the only thing I seem to be talking about is books and school. And if this is a creative process, I need to actually be creating something. And yeah, so that's the big announcement. The week of the 23rd, you will have a weekly vlog on the 23rd, but not on September 3rd. So with that, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.